Hi guys! Today I just wanted to make a video about a topic that actually came up to me again yesterday, and I think is an important one, and that's why do smart people not go to uni, or why do smart people not graduate from uni? So this came up in a conversation I was having with somebody yesterday. Now, just to paint paint a bit of a picture. As part of this conversation, I had mentioned that I have applied to uni 3 times and I've never got past the first semester. I have passed a TAFE course, a 2-year TAFE course, but not university. And that I have a genius IQ. Now, this just happened to come up amongst various other parts of conversation. And this person said to me, if you have a genius IQ and you were really great at English and maths and things, why can't you get through uni? And that's because smart isn't what gets you through uni. So university is a very specific type of education. You are educated in a particular way and required to do things in a particular way that don't fit everybody. And for me, now that I've been diagnosed as dyslexic, as ADHD, as autistic, I can now understand why the university system simply failed me. It's not a lack of intelligence. It's certainly not a lack of interest. But the way of educating just doesn't work. So let's breeze through a few things. Lectures. Okay, if you're a person with ADHD, lectures are boring. I cannot sit there and listen to somebody talk for too long, unless the topic is incredibly engaging. And sometimes you can take a really interesting topic and make it really boring. And the literal fact is, I cannot focus for that long. And when I first started going to uni, recorded lectures and available online was not a thing. I couldn't do that. You can do that now, which is fantastic. You can stop and you can listen again and again. But also, just listening isn't enough. And if you're going to have PowerPoints and other things, they need to be really effective to help. Tying it to things that I know and understand is best. But lectures are a real struggle. I genuinely fell asleep during lectures. I know a lot of people do, but I did or I would just completely drift off and not even realize it. And I didn't get a diagnosis of ADHD or have ADHD medication to help regulate the dopamine in my brain that would help me stay focused. Things like group work. With my autism especially, I find group work really stressful and difficult. Yes, I understand that you need to do group work as adults. You work in teams. But when you work in teams as an adult, your role is often clearly defined. Every role I've had, I've known exactly what my job is and what someone else's job is and what I'm supposed to do as part of that role. When you're given group work and you're like, great, the 4 of you work together, here's the project. And it's not broken down and nobody knows exactly what their job is. It's very easy for that to fall apart. Never mind the actual social interaction aspect and difficulties with communication and reading people. If the person I'm working with isn't incredibly clear about what they want from me because of my autism and my ADHD, I might misinterpret what I'm supposed to do. And another student who's the same age as me with very little experience is probably going to have a hard time explaining that. Also, having ADHD, I need pressure and specific deadlines and things to work. And at university, often there's just a big open slather, like, here's the assignment and it's due then. But there isn't really any blocking put in place. Like, here's all the different steps you need to do to get to this outcome. Here's how long each of those steps should take. And a lot of universities are doing better now, where students can actually say, hey, can you please help me with some landmarks? Can you give me some deadlines along the way? So each week I'm supposed to turn in something just to keep me accountable so that I'm able to get to the end. But an open slather, here's 10 weeks to do a project. Part of the executive function failings of an ADHD brain is that you can't easily break something down into small tasks. And also that you're really bad at estimating how long each of those sections is going to take. One of the things that you need is somebody working with you. Not necessarily a peer, but you need somebody to help work with you, to help you structure things. How am I going to tackle this? What is it that needs tackling? And I was very grateful because through a number of my different study things such as high school. My mom was really great at this. She was like, okay, well, we need to break this down. We need to do this and this and this. But she didn't have the time or the ability to sit with me through everything. And I have the same experience with my daughter, and it is really challenging because she needs that same step through. So I try and put in as many as I can, but it is going to get harder for her. Along with that, there's things like body doubling. You work on your own a lot during university. A lot of it is just on you. It is on you to seek out information. It is on you to actually set your timetable. It's on you to do the work. And a lot of this is very solitary. It's not about group work, but it's literally working on your own. And what I've learned is that body doubling is really helpful for people with these neurologies, which is just literally where someone else works alongside of you. Two people working together. It could be on the same project, could be on different projects, but working in a solitary way is really difficult. If you'd like to learn more about body doubling, there's heaps out there, and I'll make a video down the line. Rhythmically, energy levels go up and down too. So if you are neurodivergent, it is typical that your energy levels will go up and down on like bigger and smaller scales. So a person who, let's just say an example, might be somebody who's neurotypical, may be able to sort of like Monday they come in on a, reasonable energy level, start of the week. We go across Tuesday. By Wednesday, we're dipping a little bit, hump day, you gotta, kind of get through the slog. We're halfway through the week. We pick up a little bit for Thursday. And then as we're peering onto Friday, we know we're almost done. We can push that bit through. But the waves are like this in terms of energy levels throughout the week for a more neurotypical person. Here's my week, just for an example. Mondays, I'm useless. I really struggle on Mondays. I need incredibly boring, mundane, functional tasks. Sorting paperwork, ticking boxes, things that are just really simple. Putting away washing, things like that. Tuesday, my energy levels start to creep. This is when I can start to do more interesting work. I can start reading through things. I can start collating information. I can start disseminating things, right? By Wednesday, I'm hitting a peak of my creative energy, basically. Starting to really come up. I'm getting into my flow. I really want to get on with big projects and tackle things. Just be left alone, nobody talking to me, and just sink myself into the project. By Wednesday night, I'm starting to come down from that high. And it's a big drop. Thursdays are a bit of a low energy day. I'm going to struggle. I'm going to go back to those mundane tasks. Let's start with those basic things. Things that are obvious, things that are easy, things that have a clear protocol. I'm going to build my way up. By Friday, my energy is starting to lift again. And it's coming up, and it's coming up, and it's coming up. And so by Friday night, I'm starting to hit peak energy levels again. So it's very common for me to want to stay up very late on a Friday night, which used to be a problem because I used to work on Saturday mornings. So now I start to peak. On Saturdays, I want that time again. Leave me alone. Go away. I'm at energy crazy level. I want to get on with big projects. I want to do things, move stuff, be crazy, right? So high. That lasts through probably the start of Sunday. And then by Sunday afternoon, crash back down again. So twice a week, I have this slow, high, crash, roller coaster thing. And if you are trying to do something that works on a Monday to Friday and then a weekend schedule, this is not really going to work because your energy levels are going to go up and down. And so this class might fall when your energy levels are here, and this class might fall when your energy levels are here. And you might be sitting in a lecture when your energy levels are high and you can't sit and you can't focus. You want to get into the meat of the task, but you can't because you're sitting in a lecture. Or you might be sitting in a lecture when your energies are at their lowest and you can barely function or pay attention or take in any information. Lectures fall best in the middle, which means there's only twice a week when I'm going to be there. We're probably talking Tuesdays and probably Fridays when I'm at the right level for a lecture. Wednesdays and Saturdays, I'm probably at the right level for a shoot where I want to get involved. I want to talk to people. I want to really bounce out ideas and start getting some things down and getting to some hard work. Do you see how this doesn't balance in very well? So you can see that inconsistent energy levels play a really big part, right? My energy levels spike and heavily drop. Now, some of my Ritalin medication, which manages the dopamine in my brain and helps sort of make it available more steadily, can help with that. But in general, like even with the dopamine, I still go through this role and my peaks are higher and my valleys are lower. So if you're trying to do something that runs Monday to Friday, somebody who's neurotypical is going to have ups and downs. Now, if you have a big event in your life or something that happens, you're going to have big ups, you're going to have big downs. But in general, you're going to be more like this. You're going to be a little bit more regulated, right? For someone who's neurodiverse, regulation looks like this. And that makes it an awful lot harder to engage with something regular. So I hope some of this has helped to explain why some parts of university have been difficult. I'd like to talk more specifically about particular things at university and some of the strategies that I've now learned. Maybe I could even try going back to university and try and employ them. But, to be honest, I'm really not interested anymore. I just want to get on and live my life and do what I want to do. Not interested in going back to university now. I don't want a steady job. I want a wild life and a crazy one. I want to go and do all these exciting things. And going to university is just not in my brain. It's just not the thing that's going to contribute to that. But I hope that some of this has helped explain, as I waffle on, why neurodiverse people sometimes struggle with university. And it doesn't matter how smart you are. I have learned a lot in my life, but I do my own learning. I spend 3 hours a day minimum every single day learning something. Whether it's self-development, business development, skills development, it doesn't matter what it is, I'm spending at least 3 hours a day learning, growing, listening, reading, doing, practicing. I'm always growing and learning. I don't need a university degree to tell me that I'm smart, that I'm successful, or that I'm good at stuff, because I've reached an age where I can actually feel that in myself. But it would have been nice to be able to do the uni courses that I actually wanted to do, because uni can be really boring, but the job you do after uni can be better and can be great. A lot of neurodiverse people are great at the job, they're just not good at the uni, and you need a lot of help to get through the uni component. So I believe things are changing. I've heard a lot of really good things, but know that if you are a smart person and you are struggling with uni, or you've been told all your life you're smart and you're struggling with uni, it's not because you're dumb. Uni's hard and has particular challenges for neurodiverse people. I hope this has all made sense. Thank you.